about how food impacts not only our health, but our moods and our mental health. Let's talk about that, some of these things you brought today.
Well, you know, we are really, we have two systems. We have two brains.
Oh.
We have the brain that's right inside our skull, and we have a brain that goes, the lining of our esophagus. We have all the neurotransmitters that go down to our stomach and our colon and small intestine. And we have, it's called the second brain. And so that your brain and your up here and your brain down here talk to each other. You ever heard of gut feelings?
Yeah, that's right.
And you know, if you get upset or excited, what happens? You get a stomach ache, cramps, maybe you get constipation, diarrhea. And so it's connected. It is very connected, and so we have to feed both our brains, and when they talk to each other, and it usually goes from this area up to the brain. So we got to treat our second brain down here well. And one of the ways to do it, and to help reduce stress, is to have a good basic food plan. You can't be healthy and well living on white flour products and just grabbing fast food and coffee to pep you up.
Sodas.
Yeah, you can't. You'll end up crashing. And so there's got to be a change, and you can do it gradually. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy. I mean, it took me a while to give up my little chocolate here, but I do have a little dark chocolate now, so it's okay.
See, you can still include some of those things. But
Yeah.
once you do it for just a little bit of time and you start to feel the differences,
Yeah.
that becomes the motivation, right?
That's right, and it's your energy. We're all looking for more energy because I think women have a very hurried life today. They have to look after their family. Most of them are working, or a lot of them are. They have their sandwich generation. They have elderly parents. They've got community things. They're taking their kids here, there, and everywhere. And we need to sort of keep our calm. I talk about relaxation techniques in the book. And I think it's important to look at many different ways we can balance our lives, and this is a cornerstone.
Sure, where do you want to start?
Well, I think to start with is protein,
Okay.
because without protein, we can't survive. The body needs protein, the brain needs protein. We must have protein because it is made up of amino acids that feed your neurotransmitters. And we know we have neurotransmitters all over the place, then we got to feed them. So what do we need in protein? Well, a lot of people are vegetarians and they may not have the same protein, but everyone needs protein. Whatever you are, you need protein. So there's the best protein for your brain is fish. Wild Alaskan salmon, sardines, mackerel.
Is it because of the oil that's in with
The
it?
omega oils feed, the brain is made up of fat. Don't get rid of your fats, everybody.
So sardines, see, we don't buy sardines enough,
they're
do
so
we?
good. They're so good. I mean, I didn't bring a piece of salmon here, but here's some wild sockeye salmon. I get some organic tuna, wild tuna. I also have, what else do we have here? Of course, yogurt. And try to get the plain yogurt. Don't get the one that's got all kinds of sugar in it. We need to cut down on our sugars because that creates inflammation in the body and the brain. We must balance our blood sugar. So let's have plain yogurt. There's also this one's a sheep yogurt, really good. And it'll make you go back. Don't worry, it won't.
Yeah, explore, because you can find these the goats and the sheep stuff. It's becoming more and more common, even in regular supermarkets, to find it. So
it's true.
Have a look.
Now there's beans, and this is a source of protein. It's also a carbohydrate because any type of plant is a carbohydrate. People forget about that. These greens are a plant, they're a carbohydrate. So are all the different grains carbohydrates. But so beans are both. They're both the carbohydrate and protein. And so this different beans and hummus is great because it's almost like pre-digested. It's all mushed up and it won't, so you'll digest it better. And here's some goat cheese. I mean, everyone knows about cheese, but this is a really delicious goat mozzarella that is great in protein. Eggs, don't forget eggs. They're good. They feed your they have choline, feeds the acetylcholine neurotransmitter.
We've got about 3 minutes before we go to break, so let's focus on things you find most important.
Okay, we must have greens. They detoxify your body.
Every day?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You got to have leafy green at least once a day, a leafy green. And then you need about 5 vegetables a day, like a half a cup serving each. So there's lots to choose from, for heaven's sakes. There's this nice tomato, there's avocados are great, they're fat, really, they are great fat. And don't say that they're not, because they feed everything in your body. You'll have better skin, you'll look great, you'll feel great. Garlic is a great anti-cancer little thing, and onions and all these help detoxify you. Each one of them has different properties. Kale, excellent. Potatoes won't hurt you on a small amount. They're great.
And they have iron in them,
Oh, yes, they have iron. They have many different things. Spinach, this is a very good brain food, let me tell you. It'll really perk up your brain. And don't forget about all these herbs, very important. Here's an anti-cancer one, and this is turmeric, curcumin. And here's the fruits. These are also carbohydrates. The best ones for your brain are the berries. They've got so many antioxidants in them. They'll perk you right up. A few others that you can see here, apples.
I've heard color. If it's got a strong color, it's probably got the most nutrients.
It's great for you. It'll help your brain. It'll perk you up. Let's not overdo the fruits, because again, it's sugar. But 2 or 3 servings a day, fine. Pineapple is a good detoxifier. It helps inflammation. This is good for iron. The dates, and there's figs. A little banana, a little mango. Don't overdo those, because they're high in sugar.
Bread's been getting such a bad rap these days. Can we have bread?
I wouldn't overdo it. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have 10 pieces a day, but I think that there are some good ones around. I'm going to show ones that you may not have seen, because I'm sure you've seen the regular. This is a rice bread for those who are looking to get off of wheat, which might be a good idea. It'll help for people having trouble with their bowel.
And you often find those in the freezer section.
Yes, that's right. And also, here's some brown rice pasta. These are some good breads. Make sure they're heavy. Don't get a light one. Make sure they're whole grain, so it has all the oils and all the good things. Heavy breads.
It is heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. So if you know it's heavy, if it feels like nothing, it's nothing.
We're going to take a quick break, Rosalie. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about bread and some of these supplements that you brought too, and how we can keep our brains healthy and our whole bodies healthy too.
Okay.
More with Rosalie when we return.
Ta-da.
Stay tuned. Maybe we should do some stress relieving breathing while we're in the break.